Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. It is Game 7 of the 2016 World Series. The most magical words in sports. Game 7 World Series. The Cleveland Indians and the Chicago Cubs will determine baseball's best for 2016.
The moment I remember the most, running out as they're announcing my name and saying, wow, there's nothing better than this.
The Indians and the Cubs, they have brought it to the very final 27 outs.
Realistically, it is another ball game, but I mean, it's Game 7 of the World Series. Like, you're going home after this game no matter what. And so, you want to win. You want to win every game, but I'm going to say that Game 7, you really probably want to win every single time.
Two teams long for that championship more years than any other two franchises in baseball. 68 years for the Indians, 108 years for the Cubs.
I'm sure as a baseball fan, it was kind of the matchup a lot of people really wanted to see. I would be remiss to say I didn't think about that when I was part of it, but at the same token, you're trying to beat the other team.
And we're underway at the corner of Carnegie and Ontario. Kluber's pitch. Swung on, hit high in the air to deep center. Davis back, track, wall, it's gone!
When you land a big punch early in a game like that, it takes the wind out of your sails. But man, when you heard the roar, I remember walking through like, it's not an away game, but it didn't feel like a true home game.
The set in the pitch. Swung on, line to right, base hit! We've got a tie game!
It wouldn't stay tied for long. The Cubs tagged Corey Kluber for 2 runs in the 4th, and Javi Baez chased him from the game with a leadoff homer in the 5th. Chicago even scratched across a run against superhuman southpaw Andrew Miller to extend its advantage to 5-1. The Indians, though, refused to quit.
Now the 0-1 delivery. Bounced in there, gets away from Ross. Coming down the line is Santana. Racing around third is Kipnis.
I got a good jump off it, and I saw it kick far one way and him fall over the other way. Your first thought immediately is the Kenny Lofton one, and it slowed down to even in my head where I was like, this is it. This is the Kenny Lofton moment. And I see Santana go, and Starbaugh was right there with me, giving me the green light and waving me around.
On a ball that hits the catcher's mask, you're happy because you're going to get one, and then you see Kip come flying around.
Coming down the line is Santana. Racing around third is Kipnis. He'll try and score. He slides. He's safe. 2-run score on a wild pitch, and this place is alive again.
It's more than just a second run. It kind of brings the fans back into the game more and felt like it gave us a fighting chance where if we can score again, it's meaningful as opposed to just feel good.
Progressive Field was alive again. Tribe fans were rejuvenated. With Miller still on the mound, up stepped David Ross, Chicago's 39-year-old catcher who is playing his final major league game.
Here's the 1-2. Swung on, hit high in the air to deep center. Davis back, track at the wall, leaps in, is gone! David Ross has taken Andrew Miller out of the yard to center.
That was a pitch I really would want back. I had in mind what I wanted to do, and I didn't execute. I kind of threw it to where he can hit it, and he made me pay. So it's going to happen. You find a way to keep going and grind it out.
And momentum once again swings the Cubs' way. David Ross in his final game in the major leagues. He'll retire after tonight.
In my heart, I go, you got to be kidding me. The guy hits one Game 7 at the end of his career. So you look at the whole thing, and that was pretty cool. But for us, it was one of those things where you can't believe. That's storybook stuff.
The Cubs carried a 6-3 lead into the 8th, and the Indians were on life support. John Lester retired Francisco-Lindor and Mike Napoli before Jose Ramirez, the guy who always seemed to deliver, singled.
Now the payoff pitch. Swung on, line shot up the alley in right center. It'll score. Ramirez from first. Geyer has an RBI, double to right center.
I had to go in the bathroom for good luck. If you're in the bathroom and something good happens, you have to stay till there's an out made. Good things happen. They're like, stay in the bathroom, stay in the bathroom.
Knowing myself, I probably shut the door on him, may have hurt his head at the same time. I don't know.
Here's Rajai Davis. 2 outs. Geyer at second. Now the pitch. Swung on, line to deep left field.
I hear the click. You're thinking to yourself, there's like no way this happened. Then I kind of catch a glimpse of the ball.
I remember running. I wasn't sure if it was hit high enough or if it was going to stay fair. Just sitting there at the end of the dugout, just hoping the ball's getting out.
Swung on, line to deep left field. It is gone.
But everyone's screamed and busted out the bathroom door.
Threw our bullpen bag in the air, jumped on the fence like a spider monkey.
Second I saw it go over, I was like, it's meant to be, we're going to win this.
Just jumping over the dugout fence, started jumping up and down like a little kid. I thought I was the only one out there doing it by myself, and I look around, everybody's doing it.
You should see the celebration out of the Indians dugout.
It was literally just a euphoria feeling where we were just all celebrating, all little kids jumping up and down.
Your emotions went through the roof, and the crowd was just so loud.
Rajay Davis, a bullet clearing the 19-foot wall. We are tied at 6.
It's funny because when things like that happen, my first thought is make sure we're ready for the next inning. But my goodness, if you don't react to that, you don't have a pulse.
It gives me the goosebumps every time I think about it. Thrilled and excited, and human nature takes over, and you're thinking about how awesome it would be, what it would be like, this and that, but you also got to stay in the moment.
That to me, I felt like, here it is. You look for a moment to change everything. That was the one I thought it was going to be.
Base hit, back up the middle. Lindor behind second. Has it, throws him out from center field. Somehow Lindor got to it on a bounce in shallow center.
And we still we got to score, Nothing happens just because. We have to get it done.
Kipnis with 2 World Series home runs, 4 in the postseason. The 1-1. Swung on line drive, deep right.
It looked much better on TV than it did, from my point of view. Would love to have it back, but the TV made it look better than it was.
Down the line it goes, foul. In Game 7, we'll have extra innings. Bryan-Shaw will stay on to work here in the 10th. Rain getting heavier, and now going to have a rain delay.
The worst 15-minute rain delay I think we'll ever remember as Indians fans.
I mean, obviously the rain delay sucked, but I don't think it really affected me very much.
Of all the guys, he's the one guy I think we probably worry about the least because he stays loose real well and things don't affect him.
The 1-0 pitch to Schwarber, and he swings, hits a shot into right by the diving Kipnis.
With Schwarber on base, Ben Zobrist approached the plate with a chance to push the Cubs closer to history.
The 1-2 delivery, swung on, base hit down the line.
It was right where I wanted to throw it. He stuck the bat out and, got a little hit down the line. Posey's playing a foot closer to the line. He fields it, steps on third, throws it to the double play, and we're out of the inning. It's just one of those things, just scooted by.
Cubs take the lead. Elmora scores. Zobrist leaping in the air as the Cubs are back on top. The pitch. Swung on, ground ball, base hit into left. That'll score Rizzo, and the Cubs tacking on more. Now lead 8-6.
Would the Indians have one last rally in them? With 2 outs in the 10th, Brandon Guyer walked and set up Rajay Davis.
The 1-0. Swung on, line drive, base hit, center field. Guyer's coming around. He'll score. It's an 8-7 ball game, and the Indians refuse to go home.
All of us had this mentality that, we're never done. We're never out of a game. We can find a way, and we're a team that's never going to give up.
Michael-Martinez getting his first at-bat in this game.
When I was 10 or 11 years old, I actually had a dream that I was in the same situation, but batting left-handed, not right-handed.
Michael-Martinez, switch hitter batting right-handed. Davis edging off. He's the tying run at first, 2 down, 10th inning, 8-7 Cubs. The pitch. Swung on a little dribbler toward third.
I immediately started to run as fast as I could to first base to see if I could make it safely.
Charged by Bryant, gloves, throws to first. The Cubs have won the World Series for the first time since 1908.
When I was walking back from first base, I realized that they won.
I thought the Cubs did a really good job of regrouping. When Rosh hit that home run, lesser teams might have lost. So I think they deserve a lot of credit there.
You got tipper caps sometimes, the guys that go out there and they beat you. It's part of the game, it's part of the sport, and there's a winner and a loser, and unfortunately we lost that game. But I think there's everything in the world to be proud about what happened last year. I think now you come into spring training, you kind of turn the page a little bit, and you try to work towards those same goals in 2017.
I don't think you can ever imagine what the journey's going to be like, and that's what makes baseball and sports so unique. Every year is different, and every little step of the way is different. And what we had to overcome in terms of adversity and injuries, I don't think anybody would have scripted that. Losing 2 of our 5 starters, losing another starter to a freak injury, having a guy with 4 big league innings come in and pitch 4 2/3 almost perfect innings against a vaunted lineup like the Blue Jays. You can't script that kind of stuff. And, to be able to experience that with guys that you were with for 7 months out of the year, that's what makes it special. And, we're coming into this year with some unfinished business.
Anytime you get in the postseason, obviously it's fun. I think with that group of guys, to see them come together and play like they did and realize they could do it and win, that's what made it fun. That's what made it exciting.
This year is going to be just as fun. I can't tell you we're going to win the World Series. I mean, I can't predict the future. But I can tell you we're going to have fun. I can tell you we're going to be a family and we're going to enjoy the ride. I can promise you that. That's for sure. If you have the desire, you have the heart, and you backing each other up, and it's you against the world, you can do it. You can get it done.
You know, good thing is we got another season to take another crack at it, and you know, we made some additions, and we keep playing hard and having fun, man. I think that's what our team's about.
Even though we didn't win the World Series, you know, it was a great experience. And it's something that I want to happen again. It's something that everyone here wants to happen again. Yeah, I started messing with my hair like right after the season ends, and right after the World Series in Cleveland. And then I just started putting like crazy colors on it, and you know, and I stick with this one.
Do you like Danny-Salazar's hair?
It's okay. He looked like a football player.
It was great, but you know, they say it's a fantasy color, so it comes out like in a few days, and then after that, stay blonde.
So you're gonna keep with it for the year?
I don't know.
Do you like the nickname your teammates have given you? Skunk?
Skunk? No, I don't, but it's fun though.
It's not your choice.
Yeah, it's not my choice.